Happy Tuesday, y'all. It's one match in, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to have some interesting conversation about that. We have a couple of guests joining us to help us out with this episode, plus some familiar faces that you see each and every episode. Let's get this fun started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to you, the Orange County Soccer Club fans, supporters, and everyone else that wants to listen to the show. Let's get everything going here quickly because we got a lot to do, a lot to talk about. We got Brad helping out today. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing all right. Definitely, I think a little underwhelmed by the result of the game. This past week, it just seemed like we made good on one opportunity and kind of coasted to a late ending. But we'll talk more about that soon.
We will talk more about that. We're going to talk about the match, definitely. Helping us out also in this episode, we've got the bearded one that prowls the sidelines at Championship Soccer Stadium week in and week out. That's Larry. Larry, how was everything from the sidelines for the opener?
It was fun on the sidelines. The stadium looks absolutely amazing with those LED boards all the way around, and they're going to be completely around. There were some holes there on Saturday night, but it's going to be completely around the entirety of the pitch at the next home game, and the new seatings that they have put in. I think it looks great. It's just going to make it's going to give more people the opportunity to come in and get more butts in the seats and, get more people making noise.
Perfect. Another person that was there that was able to experience the new stadium atmosphere, layout, all that fun stuff. It looks like that's Trialist number one. Trialist number one, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing really good. Fun day out on Saturday. Good to see everybody. Result wasn't quite what we wanted, but we'll go from here. See how we can improve.
So I assume since you're on our show, Trialist number one, that means you didn't make the squad, which we're glad to have you here. Let's talk about the match, but first I want to talk about the atmosphere, the new features of the stadium. Larry already brought up the seating, brought up the LED boards along the edge of the stadium. I definitely like it. We can see that from the picture if you're watching the video stream, that the VIP section with that's raised up and you have the big old 4 county sign there. I think there's a great opportunity for the club to utilize that for branding, for promotional use. There's so many things you can do. It's a nice big palette for some stuff there, which will be really cool. And it looks great from the stream of the video. The other thing I want to just call out, I guess those boards that Larry talked about, the LED boards that go around there, those were like almost at the minimal brightness that they could put it at for the match, which they were very bright. If you were at the stadium and you were there, they were extremely bright feeling, which is interesting. It's cool. It's fun. It's neat to see.
Now I want to be
your thoughts. I want to ask Brad, because you were watching the stream, the stream. The rest of us were actually at the stadium. What did you think of the visual with some of those enhancements to the stadium?
Yeah, I have one thought, and whoever advertisement it was that's like a little red check mark, I couldn't see your ad. You might want to adjust the brightness there, because that thing is bright on the TV. The stands were noticeable, especially the one in the far side of the Gnarlyville area, the terrace, I think it's called. Definitely looking forward to seeing all of this in person myself one day, and good job to the team. One question for the group who may know more than me. Did the team fund this, or did the city work to fund this?
I actually am unaware of the exact funding of it, but from everything that we're seeing, it seems like the club was the one that pushed for this. So I would assume the club, if not paying for the whole entirety, they probably pitched in a good chunk of money for it, because I think it's something that the club was really interested in these enhancements and these additions. But if anyone else, if Larry, you seem to be the one in the know. If you know anything other than that, feel free to jump in. Yeah.
The real question
We
is
have
who gets
Russell
the 80 and who gets the 20%.
We have Russell in the chat saying the team paid for it. I don't know if that's true, but we'll go with that for now. Let's talk about the match though, and what happened on Saturday, the home opener. Interesting when you look at, I believe the league posted the attendance numbers, and it showed Orange County was like under 4,000 on attendance. And I think, Matt, we were talking there in the supporter section that, you know, in the past you might see a sellout or a full 5,000 something fans announced, but you see a lot of emptiness in areas. I feel like in this match, it legit felt as close to a sellout as you probably will ever see at Championship Soccer Stadium. Are you disappointed that number for the official attendance was under 4,000? Does that seem weird to you?
I don't know. It's hard to say with all the new seating and stuff like that, how that kind of all shakes out. Every section looked like it had a good amount of people, like kind of you're saying. I didn't see like a huge gap or certain sections that look super empty. It's always hard to say with like some of those like new sections on the VIP area and stuff like that. But I don't know, the numbers, like whether they're low or high, I never pay attention because they're always slightly off, or maybe they actually reported the right number, or attendance this time, like no other team does in sports. So I don't know. It looked fine. It didn't look like it was empty. It didn't look like it was totally packed. So,
well, in the match, Orange County goes up a goal, and then we concede a goal to end in a draw. I know that's not what anyone was hoping for in the opener against Vegas. The other disappointing aspect of this match is we didn't get to see the much anticipated match between Kyle Scott and Kyle Partida. Larry, what were your thoughts on Orange County's performance on Saturday, and what can you take from that performance?
The first half, I liked the way the team looked in general. I thought they did a good job of controlling the ball. I thought that Stephen Kelly looked very sharp in the middle. The pass that I believe it was Kelly that put the ball through to Liam. I could be wrong. I might have to relook that up. I thought that was outstanding. I think the defense looked solid. Rando was doing a nice job back there. I mean, he didn't have to do too much, which is good. You're right. It was Palomino. Thank you, producer Andy. In the second half, I thought we came out a little bit flat. Like we were trying to maybe just, we got one, we're up. Let's let the defense take care of the rest. And, the defense did the best they could for as long as they could. And we gave up that equalizer. I think we could have played better, but, end of the day, we get a point. Not a horrible way to start the season. Certainly better than a loss.
I do want to add, this felt like a playoff game in the worst sense. If you remember last off season, a lot of these playoff games felt very 1-0. I think the whole first week was 1-0s across the board, except for 1-2-0 game. So the team very much played we have a 1-goal lead, let's keep it, and I don't think that style of play really works well for us.
What about you, Matt? What were your thoughts for the overall for this first match from Orange County?
I mean, overall disappointed we didn't beat a team that I feel like is probably not going to be very good. So you want to beat those teams at home, but first game of the season, not going to overreact. As far as kind of how the game shook out, it's the only thing that makes me nervous is I kind of feel like we do have this 1-goal lead. We sit on it. We're not defensively really good enough to sit on it, but I don't know that we have a good enough offense either to go for the throat and try to get 2 or 3. So I could see this repeating potentially, but again, we're one game into the season. It's hard to make any predictions or analysis based on what we've seen. Teams are, players are still getting into fitness and gelling with each other on certain points. So it was fine. We had a good first half, and then we petered out a little bit. I feel like that's pretty expected when you just got off a preseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult when you're playing the first match of the season. I know there's a lot of excitement from the fans. there's a lot of returning players for this team, but there are some new pieces or some adjustments from the previous season, right? So you saw Mo War playing a defensive role in this first match, which I know he's been ramping up for in the preseason. From what I've heard, he's been playing a lot back there. I think more out of necessity than maybe that being his best position, but who knows? Maybe that is a tactical thing that Coach Danny Stone saw and thinks that War will be a better defensive back instead of more the attacking or winger. Who knows there? But we know when you get someone like a Grayson Duty and a Pedro Guimaraes back, they're going to get minutes in that defense, and it'll probably push War back to where maybe he should be playing. You had players like Jimmer Johnson playing his first match with the team. You had Tyson Espy making his debut for Orange County as a starter. I know it's not his professional debut. I know he made some appearances last season, but he definitely got his first big match for Orange County in this. And I think there's a lot of youth on this team. I was trying to look up who started for us and who played for us, and I think we had two or three teenagers playing for us on Saturday. Again, Tyson getting a start and playing big minutes for the team as a teenager. I mean, there's going to be growing pains with this team. We can't anticipate it to be something out the gate that they're going to be dominant, and there's a few injuries that we're missing some players. So,
yeah, shout out to Jameer Johnson as well for starting his first professional game with Orange County. Also a teenager, I think played a pretty good game on a Saturday.
And I think there was some talk after the match. I was talking with some of the people with Orange County. I don't know if it's his professional debut, but it is his first match with Orange County. I don't think they officially counted it as a professional debut, but I may be wrong from what I remember. Any concerns from this match, Larry, that you saw? Oh, go ahead. Producer Andy's jumping in.
Yeah, it was. Are we talking about Tyson Espy?
No, we had moved on to Jameer
Johnson.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Larry, any negatives from the match that you saw or that concern you heading into the season?
It's week one. You guys know me. I'm patty positive. I have no concerns about anything right now. Ask me about concerns come mid-July. If things
Awesome.
aren't going well in mid-July, I will be concerned at that point. Right now, I'm not concerned. It's week one.
Well, hopefully we don't have those concerns come mid-July, and hopefully our guest here that's joining us right now is going to be a big part of none of those concerns in mid-July. We're all going to be happy and excited and pumped up, and that's defender for your Orange County Soccer Club, Mr. Tom Brewitt. Tom, welcome back to the show. How are you feeling after you got the first match of the season out of the way? How are you feeling? How's the club feeling?
Oh, thanks for having me back on the show. Obviously, it feels like 2 points dropped on Saturday. We always want to open with a win, as we did last year. But look, as Larry's just said, there's positives to take from it. It's the first game. It's a newish group. We've got a lot of young players that are bedding into the team. So a lot of positives to take. And I think I said in my post-game interview about how it's step one of the season, and it's a great platform to build from.
You mentioned some youngsters on the roster. I mean, you're partnering with a teenager as your partner at center back, plus some other, youngsters that are on this roster. As sort of a veteran on this roster here and a leader of this team, what do you do to help make sure players like Tyson Espy are in the most comfortable position that they can be in, and how do you help them become great professional players for the future?
Yeah, I mean, both Tyson and JJ coming into the starting lineup first game of the season, it's a big moment for them. My job as captain is to make them feel comfortable, give them capacity to trust themselves, that they are good players and they're ready for this step. No one's perfect in a game of football, so you're going to make mistakes, whether you're 16 or you're 36. And it's how you respond to them mistakes and how you keep doing the right things, and your intention towards the game is just the biggest thing.
And just stepping away from the field or the match and just the experience at the stadium. You were here obviously last year to this year. It looks like a totally different stadium. The excitement seemed to be very well there, and the fans we were talking about earlier, it seemed like a packed house there. What are your thoughts on everything that the way the stadium has transitioned from what you saw last season to this year? Environment, excitement, everything in there.
Oh, it's brilliant. The club's done an unbelievable job of getting it ready. they've done it very quickly during preseason, and it looks brilliant from the advertising boards to the new stands to the pre-game music to the pre-game on-field activities. It's creates a really good environment for us to play in as players, and allows you fans to get behind us as you always do. So it creates a great environment for us, and hopefully we can have a stronger home record this year as what we did last year.
I'm going to hand it off to a familiar face, Larry. I'm sure you get tired of seeing that face week in and week out, but Larry, go ahead.
Patrizio, my man. Hey,
How
listen, I'm good, buddy. Listen, I want to tell you how happy I was to see you. I mean, after going to 3 preseason matches, being at the UCLA game, and not seeing you on the pitch at all, to see you come out opening night, play a full 90, look good the entire time, that made me very, very happy, because obviously you are the guy who's going to anchor that defense. What's the first bit of advice you're going to give to the 16-year-old standing over there on your left, when you realize that you were almost twice his age, because you are an old man now at 29 years old?
Apparently so, yeah.
What do you tell him before, first match of the season, big start for him? What's the sage advice?
My biggest message to him was, I've got you. Stay on the front foot. I've got your back. Play your natural game. Don't think about the event. Don't think about it being your first start. Don't think about it being the season opener. Play your game. Let me take the responsibility of leading the back line, organising the team in front of you, the pieces around you, and communicating on where the number 9 is. Play your game, trust yourself, and the rest will take care of itself.
And from my point of view, it looked like he did a really solid job back there. I mean, he wasn't the greatest center back in the history of the game, but he just might get there one day. We don't know. I want to step away from talking about soccer for a second. This past summer, if you guys don't follow Tom on Instagram, you really should, because he has this amazing dog, Nacho, and Nacho is so very cool. Would you like to share with the audience, with the other guys here on the show, tell us about your road trip this summer?
Yeah, so Nacho's my little best friend. Comes with me everywhere, all over the world, no matter where I'm playing, and keeps me sane. But now in this off season, I drove from here to New York in about 10 days. So we did an unbelievable road trip, starting in Southern California, stopping along the way. Got to see a lot of this amazing country, and it was an unbelievable experience for me. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, the star of the show.
Great picture.
No, he is. He's the superstar. Like I say, he keeps me sane, and I'm a huge dog person. So he's my little best mate.
And Nacho is one of the many reasons that we love having you as part of Orange County Soccer Club, Tom. So, hey, you know what?
Main
Keep
reason.
it up. Well, you're also a pretty decent player last time I checked.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. So, hey, listen, I'm going to step away. I'm going to let Brad give you throw some questions at you. So, Brad, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah. All right, Tom. I got 2 quick ones for you. Unfortunately, last season you did miss a couple games due to injury. I think we, as people who sit in chairs and talk about soccer, can't appreciate how to come back from injury and the fitness and growth that goes into that. So just wanted to see from behind the scenes what goes into returning from an injury. I know you came back for the playoff games against Sacramento and New Mexico last year, but what really does go on behind the scenes to get back into match fitness mid-season?
Yeah, it's a massive mental challenge more than anything to always have the bigger picture in mind, and to sort of take the setback for what it is and understand what your target is. So for me, I had a huge target to make it back for the last game of the season. That was probably a few weeks in advance of medical advice, but it gave me the drive to come into work every day, make sure I stayed fit, and make sure I stayed ready for what was going to be an important game, whether it was playoffs or the last game of the season. So it's just day to day, staying around the boys, staying a part of it, being part of that environment, and making sure you're doing the little things that isn't the glamorous things. It's not the things that people are going to see on a Saturday night or even on social media. It's the things that no one sees when you're on your own in the gym or with the rest of the injured boys getting you through it. The fitness stuff that you've got to do, and looking after your body to make sure that you can come back and perform for the team.
Yeah, obviously wish you nothing but the best of health this season and, a full 30 game plus whatever we're calling the USL Cup this season. I think it's Prinks tires.
Yeah,
Getting what 8 of those games in for you as well. My next question for you, I asked our guest last week, but what are some goals that you have set for yourself this season?
I
I
think a
think
big
you
one.
go
Go on.
ahead,
No,
sorry.
no, a big one for me is to just, as you say, I think play as many games as possible. I think we found a little run of form halfway through last season, just before I got the injury, where we were tight on defence. I think we conceded 4 in 9 games. So I think if we can pick up where we sort of left off at that point, I think keeping clean sheets is going to be a huge target for me this season, and trying to sort of be a coach on the field for the boys in terms of that security in the back line and the players around me. So that's a huge goal of mine this season, to have a really solid defense.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry for cutting you off there. I was going to give you Ethan's example last week in case you needed some help
Yeah,
there, but I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Matt for a couple questions I think he
That's
has as
Charles
yeah,
well.
number
no
one.
problem.
That is
Um,
Charlie's number one. That's not Matt.
Yeah. uh, yeah, my question is, so I know, I mean, you come from a very big academy, pretty decent one, I guess I'd say, as a Chelsea fan. You guys are all right, I suppose. What do you think are kind of some of the next steps that OC has to take to kind of, obviously facilities and stuff like that, but to kind of get to the next level of getting that academy going, getting those young players, dialed in even more?
Yeah, I think a massive thing for me, having seen both sides of it, is that consistency of fixtures against the best players across the country. From, I mean, from the age of 9, 10, for me, I'm playing against the Chelsea academies, the Man United, the Spurs, the Cities, and you're playing against the best players around the country. And then often in the off season, you're going away to tournaments in Holland, and you're playing against Ajax or Italy, and you're playing against the Italian giants in their academy. So you're testing yourself constantly against players at your age or above, and it really helps you get into that professional routine at an age where you're nowhere near professional yet, but you've already started to get them routines and habits from, as I say, from almost a baby.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Ray, on to you, man.
Yeah, Tom, really quick, I want to ask you, there is a question in the comments from Russell asking if we'll see Nacho walkout this season.
I'll have to speak to the front office about that one. I'm sure he would love it. Not sure he'd love that many people looking at him at once, even if he is a little celebrity. But I'll have to speak to the front office about that one.
And maybe we'll have to also find out how many dogs there are, with all the players. Maybe we can get a little pup bowl going before before a match or something special where you can have them playing on the pitch with a soccer ball and see who can score.
Absolutely. I think we had dogs at the park last season at some point, so maybe this year when we do that, we'll get Nacho walking out with me.
I was gonna say, the question is Nacho more of a defender or more of an attacker?
Defender. He's definitely more of a defender. Although I think he'll last about 10 minutes in this heat before he needed a lie down. So as long as the goal's shaded, he'll be all right. He'll make a good defender.
And Russell actually put a second question here that we'll ask also is, there's an Open Cup match that's going to be happening in just about 8 days, I believe, here from today. It's a rarity for Orange County because it's a local derby. It's Orange County SC versus amateur side Laguna United FC. What is the club thinking? Because I know last year, over the last couple seasons, really, there's been this like commitment to the cup and wanting to perform and wanting to perform well in that cup. Is that the same mentality that the players have this season and the club has this season? And what are your thoughts on playing against a local amateur team in the Open Cup?
Yeah, for sure. In any competition we play, and we want to do well. Last year it was massively disappointing to go out the way we did, and we want to put that right this year. So, of course, that's the target for us as a team, to go further than what we did. And it's always nice to go on cup runs, when you can get to the latter stages and you're playing against bigger teams. It's important, but you've got to take care of business early doors first against the likes of Laguna United, where they're going to want to come and they're going to want to beat us. They're going to want to put their own market down and prove a point themselves. So we've got to make sure we do our job right and we handle business in 8 days from today.
And then let me ask you this. This is a non-USL question. This is going to be a fun question for Matt because I know he's ready to bash me on this. But I do have to ask you this. Who had a worse day today, Liverpool or Tottenham?
It's definitely Spurs. I mean, Liverpool, look at getting them back to Anfield at 1-0. You can take that. I'm not sure Spurs are feeling quite so confident after their thrashing. Certainly not after the first 15 minutes.
What would you do to fix Spurs, Tom?
How long have you got?
I knew that was coming. I have to. I'm as a Spurs supporter, I just have to laugh at it. It's just whatever could go wrong could go wrong. I'm hoping that is that, and Orange County is going to be the bright side for me over the next 9 months or whatever. So,
look, I was a big Ange fan. Say what you want about Ange's style. I'm a big soccer fan at heart, and I love seeing different styles, and I don't like it too much when coaches just try to emulate other people. I think what I liked about Ange is that he had a very clear style of play and he was going to stick to it, and it brought Spurs a trophy which they've not had in countless years. So to see him go last summer I thought was a bit of a shame, but it's going to be interesting how they finish this year.
I agree, Tom. I'd love to see Ange come back.
Oh,
it'd be great for us.
I have two dream comebacks. Would either be Ange or Poach. I'll take either of those back at the head of Spurs. Tom, this is not a English soccer show, so we can't delve too much into that. But I do gotta ask you or wrap things up with you. So, what would you want to say, or what's your message to the fans after week 1 for the remainder of the season? What do you want to see from the fans? What do you want to provide the fans in 2026?
Again, first of all, a huge thank you. It doesn't go unnoticed, even in the first minute of the game, the fans are singing and are on our back and have our back. Sorry, I should say. It's hugely appreciated by the players, that constant level of support. And as I said earlier, our home form last season, I think we were second or third best in the entire league. So that's hand in hand. That's on us as players, but it's also what we feel, the energy from the fans at the Champ. So we got to try and emulate that again this year and improve our away form. So keep bringing the noise, keep bringing the energy, keep supporting the boys, and we appreciate it more than we are ever capable of saying thank you.
Awesome. Well, we want to say thank you to you, Tom, for taking some time out of your Tuesday evening to jump on our show. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the boys in 2026, and we definitely look forward to speaking to you again. Hopefully, not like Larry was saying, where if we're in the cellar come July, we're all bummed and sad and worried. We're going to be excited come July, right?
Yeah, we'll make sure you're excited. We'll do our best. So much.
We could have 0 wins in July and 1 tie and everything else losses, and I'm still going to be up here as Patty positive saying, we got this, guys. It's not over yet.
Larry, I can promise you we'll give you more than that to cheer about come July.
I don't doubt it for a minute, my man. I do not doubt it.
Well, everyone, thank you so much to Tom Brewitt for joining us. Defender for your Orange County Soccer Club. Best of luck in the upcoming match against Phoenix. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Thanks, Tom.
Speaking of Phoenix, we got an upcoming road match in the desert, and that's always an interesting battle between two powerhouses of the Western Conference. I don't know if that's an appropriate term these days. I know it used to be they were typically both up there, but I feel like there's been some struggles year in and year out from these teams. We've got Ryan Sykora here to help us out to talk about Phoenix Rising and help give us the lowdown and the insight so we can pass it on to the players. Hopefully Tom is still in the green room just listening along. Ryan, welcome to our show.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good. I mean, obviously 3 points this past weekend would have been, I could say it's going great, but at least we got a point. A result is better than no result there. Ryan, how are things going in the desert for Phoenix heading into this weekend's match against Orange County?
I was going to say, I think the Phoenix folks right now would take the point from week 1 after what happened in San Antonio. It was not the perfect start for the Phoenix Rising season. You concede a goal within 5 minutes of the quality of the one that San Antonio were able to put up. And, for 45 minutes, Phoenix Rising didn't look like they belonged on the pitch at all. And, you get the penalty, you fight a little bit in the second half. But it's early in the season, right? You're looking at performances rather than results at this stage of the year. And I think that's the fun part about this stage of the year is you can play as you did in the first week of the season, and then you show up the second week, and it's a brand new start as you try and kind of set your standards for the year.
And let's be honest, right? I think San Antonio is always a tough road match for any team in the USL. I don't think it's an easy match for anyone. I don't know if it's something in the water in San Antonio or just the location. Who knows? What did you see any positives from your Phoenix Rising in the match this past weekend? That they can take over to OC.
I was going to say, I think when you watch this team, and maybe it wasn't as prevalent in the first match, but having gotten to see Phoenix Rising over the course of the preseason, like Jean-Eric Morsu in the midfield, I think he's wearing number 13 this year. He was number 40 or something last year, but the number 13 in midfield for Phoenix, Jean-Eric Morsu, when he arrived, was after both the matches against OC last year, so didn't get a chance to play against them. If Rising can correctly platform him as a player, and he can be this player that's properly used as a connector, as like a, almost like a Kyle Scott. I don't think he's good on the ball as good on the ball as Kyle Scott ever was, but I think he's a better defender than Kyle Scott was. If you can give him the opportunities to tempo Phoenix's attack and have them build through him, he's an all-league level player for Phoenix Rising. That's the biggest positive from this team from the opening couple of weeks of preseason and then through the first week of the season. I really like the complexion of the back line. It was not really on display last week, and Chituro Odunze was not at his best, I think, from what we would expect from the level of player there. But as is always the case with the modern Phoenix Rising, tons of wingers, tons of guys who want to take you on, and now they have, with Hope Avievu and Morsu, and maybe even JP Skiers as well, who got the goal from the spot last week, a solid enough base to kind of work off of.
As much as I'd like, I could ask you, I could take the full 15, 20 minutes with you, but I want to share the time with my fellow co-host. I'm going to hand it off to Brad here. Brad, go for it.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Ryan, I don't think Ray gave you the opportunity to tell you about, or for you to tell the group, what you do for Phoenix, because I think you are one of the first of your kind that we've had on the show.
Yeah. So the last couple of seasons, since the 22 season, so the year before Phoenix Rising wandered into the title, I suppose. We started a Phoenix Rising English radio broadcast as students at Arizona State University. And for the last 4 seasons, this will now be year 5 of the Phoenix Rising Radio Network, which is entirely student produced, student run, student broadcasted. So no longer a part of that portion of it, but it gave me the opportunity to connect with Phoenix Rising as a club, the club that I grew up playing against locally here in Phoenix growing up. And it's given me a wonderful grassroots almost platform, almost in kind of like how Orange County has, Tyson Espy and Jameer Johnson and all these, young attacking, academy kids. It gave me the chance to get my feet wet in the professional world and grow from there. So that's my connection with Phoenix Rising. And as the radio broadcaster the last couple of years, and this year is more of an outward media party for covering for this league and, Backheeled.com and trying to promote that on the national scale. It's a whole lot of fun to get to watch games in this league every single week, to watch Orange County this past week, Phoenix this past week, Jacksonville. Like, it's a lovely, lovely league to kind of be universally involved in, I feel like.
Thank you, Ryan. So focusing a little bit back on the pitch, one of the players that we have in the past seasons seen and very familiar with from Orange County is Patrick Rakowski. However, Chituro Odunze, 6'7" goalie, younger player, started the first game of the season. What's that camp battle been like between the two players over there?
So I'm sure most of the people in the chat will remember Rocco Rios Novo, who was, the starter for a couple of years for Phoenix's title run, and then the year after that in 2024. He and Patrick Rakowski very much alike in the sense that goalkeepers that are, pretty solid shot stoppers at best, but very good with the ball at their feet. Like, they want to have the ball. They're better when the game is in front of them and at their feet. And Rakowski himself this offseason has said it's kind of a different battle. Odunze is not that good with the ball at his feet. He's much more of a shot stopper, which Phoenix could have used and frankly needed at times last year. And I think that's why he's gotten the start early on. Is you look at a Rising team that gave up a lot of shots last year, that gave up a lot more goals than they wanted to last year. They really needed that shot stopper in goal, and that's why Odunze has gotten the start. That being said, if you go back and watch the 90 minutes against San Antonio, Patrick Rakowski's best case for being the starter against Orange County is what Chituru Odunze did in the loss to San Antonio. It wasn't that spectacular. There wasn't a lot there. So that's kind of the interesting thing is Rakowski's the veteran, Odunze's the youngster. Rakowski's better with his feet. Odunze's better at saving, shots. Both bring something different to the table that I think, depending on what you prefer as a fan, as a supporter, as a coach, it's going to really heavily sway who you think. I would personally take Odunze, but he's only got 3 or 4 games of a sample to really know, to really earn that job before Rakowski has a claim to take it back.
All right, thank you so much. And my last question for me is Anthony Capitillo started the game, 16-year-old, very similar to what Orange County has been doing with Jameer Johnson and some of our younger players, Tyson Epsy. What academy structure is Phoenix looking at in terms of building up talent? Is there a pipeline that's starting to form, or?
It's certainly getting there. If you looked at Phoenix 5 years ago and had told me that Phoenix Rising would be the second youngest team in the league in 2025, which they were, the only team that had an average, roster when adjusted for minutes younger than Phoenix Rising was Orange County, which makes sense. That's I don't want to say shtick, but it's a big part of the identity, the brand of the club and the community, right? So Phoenix over the last couple of years has had an academy that's kind of been structured up, for 10 years now. They've had the same kind of 2 guys at the helm of it. They've started to add grassroots clubs over the course of the last decade into its umbrella. And that's led to, I guess, a more streamlined academy process of finding, training, educating young players. And last year, you started to see some of it when you had players like Cyrus Coal coming off the bench. He got the start, I think, against Orange County in the Rising home game last year. Jamison Ping was 16 years old, signed a pro contract, the youngest player to sign for Phoenix from the academy. And then this year, Jathan Irwin, who came off the bench, is 15 years old. He's the first player, I think, born in 2011 to feature in a professional soccer game this year. I don't know if we're counting next pro or not. It's kind of stupid. Jathan's a really good player. He's going to play for the U.S. Men's national team, youth national team. Anthony gets the start. Tony's trained fantastically over the course of the season. So yeah, there's a pathway now, I think, in Phoenix to get the young players, 16, 17 years old, into the first team.
Well, thanks for making me feel old, naming a player who is literally half my age now.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
So while I wallow in my despairs, I'll go ahead and hand it off to Trialist number 1 to ask a couple questions.
Trialist, really quick. Can I just make a quick comment? You just blew my mind there, Ryan, because my son literally plays. He's 2012, but he plays against 2011s from time to time. That is just ridiculous. Go ahead, Trialist.
Thank you. I guess my question is just going into the season. We're real early. What's something that you think is kind of a strength that Phoenix is going to have this year, and what's something that you think is kind of a weakness?
The wide players. When Phoenix Rising gets healthy, you'll have Darius Johnson and Isan Sako, who can be so dangerous in their own right in different ways, preferably on the bench, because you'll have Kelvin Araze, who's been this highly touted player within the camp, coming on and starting when he gets fit. Damian Rivera has scored a ton of goals in terms of his per 90 numbers over the last couple of years in the USL Championship. So, the wingers, the players out wide, Phoenix's game plan is almost always going to be predicated on getting it up the pitch, getting it into the wide players, letting them go 1v1, trying to get them to beat a guy defensively and go from there. So Phoenix's bread and butter, I think, when they're going to play well early in the season, probably when they're going to play well 7 months from now too far away to think. 7 months from now, when we're in towards the postseason, it's going to be all about getting the ball to the wide players and seeing if those guys can be effective 1v1 attackers nonstop.
What's something you think is like a weakness for the team going into the year, or something you're the least confident in?
I do not love and I think Anthony Capotillo, at 16, 17 years old, starting match day 1 is not necessarily a sign of the struggles in the 9 position, more so the health right now. That being said, Gunnar Studenhoft is about 6'4". He runs about a 4.4 40. He's an NFL player, but he's not a striker at the polished product yet. He's someone that I don't think I would trust to get you 10 goals if you played him game in, game out every single night. And then they brought in a young striker from Colombia, Juan Carvajal, who seems to be someone with potential, good physical, technical upside, but has not, impressed, I would say, in preseason. So kind of opposite of the wingers in the attack for Phoenix being so good is there's still a lot of question marks on who's going to score goals at the number 9 for Phoenix. I tell you what, if Phoenix could do anything in this league, if their supporters would be happy about anything, they would beg Ethan Zubak to come to Phoenix Rising. It would be like they would use that. They could use that kind of a player at that number 9 position, just like a lot of teams would like an Ethan Zubak in their setup as the number 9.
That is the most controversial take among our supporters. I think some people are very for him, some people are very against him. He does something really well. He does other things not so well. So if you want him to hold the ball up, good luck.
All in on
Lime
Liam.
Score some goals. Yeah, Lime's looking really exciting. Yeah. I will say a quick comment just before I pass it off to Larry. Do you guys want to match our youth? I'll be very happy about that. If more teams could just all agree to do that in the USL, that would be fantastic. Just because it makes me very nervous that our team is so young, just speaking from a consistency standpoint and competitive standpoint. So if y'all can just all do that, that'd be very helpful and make me a lot more comfortable in our chances moving forward. As exciting as it is to have the youth products come through, and I do love to see that. It from a competition standpoint, you're usually not how you win titles. So sure. We'll see if we can get something going, but I'll pass it off to Larry.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say to Brad, you mentioning that this kid is half your age, I think that's adorable. By 2011, I was on wife number 3. Shut the hell up. Hey. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I love that wife number whatever is hearing this and commenting in the background.
Yeah, she's over there. Sorry. Ryan, you've mentioned some weaknesses. Oh, by the way, you can't have Liam McKinnon or Ethan Zubak, not at least until maybe next year. So I'm just saying, tell your fans now. So let's say it's Saturday night. We are 15 minutes into the game. What are you seeing from Phoenix that is going to make you say, well, the rest of this night is not going to go well?
So to me, the biggest thing that Orange County is going to present as a problem to Phoenix Rising is what we saw in the goal from Orange County over the weekend. The patented Danny Stone, break the lines quickly, try and skip two lines of defense, move it through the middle after slowly recycling possession or winning the ball, in the middle third of the pitch. That's something that I think Phoenix under Pamadouka has really struggled with going back to the beginning of last season. That's why Orange County was so good against them in the game at the Champ over the summer last year. Phoenix's, counter press, their response to losing the ball has not ever been something that's been noteworthy under Pamadouka, or really even going back to, the post-COVID Rick Shantz teams as well, that always kind of seem to struggle when they lost the ball. So Orange County being effective at winning the ball in the middle third of the pitch, quickly getting it to a Stephen Kelly or a Nico Benalcazar, who I loved in midfield. By the way, that was a joy to get to actually see him play his preferred position, Marcelo Palomino, and allowing those guys to pick up the ball, quickly turn. You've got McKinnon, you've got Jameer Johnson. maybe it's Mateo Bunbury in this game making runs in behind to kind of cause problems for a Phoenix defense that I think lacks athletes right now. Luke Biassi's at left back. He's a left-sided center back in a back three by trade. Rafa Shihas is 36 years old. He's one of the oldest players in the league. Adrian Palaio is not really known for his pace. So Orange County is going to have, I think, a lot of ability to punish Phoenix Rising on the break and on the counterattack. And that's what I would like to see from Orange County this weekend from their perspective of trying to play with some quick tempo, some up the ante pace to try and beat Phoenix in that way.
Excellent. Coach Stone, I hope you're listening and taking some notes.
He's not listening. Danny's never listened to me once.
He's not listening. Ryan, we are at the point of the show where we like to make our predictions for Saturday night. So we are going to let you go first because you are our guest here, and we are polite like that. Prediction for Saturday night's game. What do you got?
How often does the opposition guest take Orange County to steal 3 points on the road? What are the numbers on that? They can't be very high.
Not high. You are correct.
Not high, but it has happened, but not high.
I think Orange County wins 2-0. I think they get a goal somewhere in the first half hour. Phoenix prods for 25, 30 minutes, end of the first half, start of the second half, and OC gets a goal off the break sometime in the second half and holds defensively. I was impressed with Tyson Espy. I think that was when I was in the green room trying to listen in on Tom. I love Tom Brewitt's words about what he said to Tyson of like, hey, I'm here, got your back, play your game. I thought he did play his game. I think as long as he gives you a solid 6 out of 10, he's going to be the center back. And that's a wonderful thing because it allows you to play Benalcazar in his preferred role. And so from that perspective, I think Orange County is just a little ahead of Phoenix right now in the project and in the preseasons and the beginning of season structures. I think they get all 3 points on the road in Phoenix.
I love that. And we're all going to hope that you are absolutely right. Bradley, you're next. What is your prediction?
I'm going to say it's going to be a similar game to last week for Phoenix. 2-1 in this case, visiting Orange County.
Outstanding. And trialist number 1. Talk to me.
Oh, I'm trying really hard not to go the opposite of him just to, be that guy. I think that the things we lacked last week were getting a little torched on the wings, and hearing you speak so highly about the wingers for Phoenix scares me a little bit because we definitely could have conceded 2 or 3 goals in the first 30 minutes after a couple drives down that right side. So, or our left side. I'm going to go, I can't predict this. Let's go 4-3 OC. Let's go nuts. Like I don't, you guys might score a few. I think we might score a few. Let's just, let's go for some fun.
I love that.
I am going to vehemently disagree with both trialist number 1 and Matt. By the way, with trialist number 1, it says 4-3. Does Matt have a prediction that might be, sane?
5-4.
It gets better. Excellent. I am actually going to agree with Ryan, and I am going to say 2-0 Orange County. I think McKinnon scores another one, and I think we're going to get a surprise second goal from somebody. And I'm not going to say it now. I'm going to wait till I do my little Saturday pregame video, and I will make that prediction there. So, Ray, I'm going to turn it back to you. What's that, Rando?
Alex Rando.
So everyone that is not doing it, you need to follow our Instagram because that's where Larry will leave that second prediction of who's going to have a surprise goal for us. Here's what I'm going to say. In this match against Phoenix is going to concede 3 goals in the first 15 minutes. They're going to be slipping all over the place. They're going to sub out their goalkeeper after that third goal, and they're still not going to be able to do anything and come back. They're going to lose 5-2 to Orange County.
5-2.
Someone's tilted.
Ryan,
I love that Brad understood that. If you didn't get it, Ryan,
not even Phoenix is as bad as Tottenham, right?
I know I'm referencing Spurs' performance tonight or today.
I was listening. I was listening. I was hearing Tom give you some grief. I heard it.
Ryan, for all of our listeners, if they want to hear more from you, read more from you, see more from you, give them the lowdown. Where do they go? What do they look for on social medias, websites, wherever? Tell them everything.
Subscribe to Backheeled.com. It's $5. It is a subscription-based platform, but you get 30,000 words almost a week, it feels like, on the USL Championship. Probably 30,000 divided by 5, a little more than 1,000 divided by 25, a little more than 1,000 words a week on Orange County SC and all things there. I'm certain you'll get a couple of features on the Academy kids at points this season. We had Danny Stone on our Backheeled flagship USL Championship show last year, this league, to chat with us. So at Backheeled and Backheeled.com for Twitter and Blue Sky and social medias and all these things. Read John Morrissey. Come hang out on every live show. We go live. Trying to do the math in my head because Phoenix just changed times, but we don't do the daylight savings. We go back to Pacific. So we are 4:00 Pacific live every Monday to chat USL Championship. Myself, John Morrissey, Peyton Gallagher. It is, for my money, the best national USL Championship coverage you're going to get. All due respect to Devin Kerr and the boys at the league office. So listen to me there. And then my @ is underneath my name here at Ryan Sykora play-by-play. I do stuff with Arizona State and all sorts of things here in the Valley. But if you want to hear about Orange County this over the weekend, tune in Monday. I'm sure we will talk Phoenix and OC Monday at 4:00.
AS who?
Here's where we're going to have some fun here is we're going to have to figure out who is the better guest host, because we didn't do our awards last year, but we definitely would do it this year. And you are an early candidate as a guest of the year now because you've been on the show. John Morrissey is a good friend of the show. He has won the award in the past. Let's see who can win, Ryan or John. Who do you think will win, Ryan?
I mean, I hope John's not on the show, because if John's on the show, I'm screwed. But right now, I like my chances. We've had 2 shows. I'm one of the 2 guys. I like my odds right now. I got a 50-50 chance. Let's move.
Well, and the guest is non-player guest award. So right now, you're the only one so far. So you are in the driver's seat for this. We'll see what happens as we go down the year. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Ryan Sykora, Backheeled, follow him, listen to him, read him, subscribe so you can get all that information. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us. And we'll definitely look forward to seeing you on the show again in the future.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Fun times. Now, see my subtle nudge to try and get John back on the show here because we've been missing him the last, I think, year or so. Any other thoughts on this upcoming match from anyone before we start wrapping things up, gentlemen? I'll go to you first, trialist number 1.
Bear down.
All right, Larry.
I see what you did there. Not everybody's going to quite get that reference there, Matt, but I got it. I'm with you. You know what? I'm very excited about the youth movement. Are we going to lift a cup having 7, 8, 16 and 17-year-olds on the pitch? Probably not. Is the team going to be successful and going to be fun to watch? Absolutely no question. So I'm excited to. Jameer didn't have the game on Saturday night like he had in the preseason games that I watched. Once everybody sees this kid really get going, your minds are going to be blown watching him. And again, I'm really excited about this youth movement. Apollo could be back sometime very soon. Nicolo Chioda, I don't know if you guys could tell, he is huge. I talked to him after the game and I asked him, I said, did you grow like 3 or 4 inches over the summer? And he goes, no. He goes, everybody keeps asking me that. And I said, did you put on some weight and muscle? And he said, like 15 pounds. I said, that's it. And he is an absolute monster. So these kids are going to be difference makers. And it's going to be a fun season watching them.
It's because you've lost weight, Larry. That's why he seems like he's grown and gotten so big on you. I'm going to double down on that, Larry. I want to double down on that because as much as like Tyson gets the hype of the youth, movement for Orange County, I hear nothing but amazing things about Jameer and about Apollo. I hear that those 2 are going to surpass anything we've seen from our youth movement of Orange County. And unfortunately, that probably means they're not here for the long run, but it's amazing to see that and this is why other teams are starting to do it, right? Is because Orange County has proven that there is a method to this madness of finding diamonds, finding these young players that are going to be good enough to move on. And, you can profit a little bit off of that and sell them to other teams. I think Phoenixes and other teams around the league are seeing that as this is a viable way to stay, financially stable in a league that is tough to do so. They tried the Diplo money and just splashing money and throwing money around to try and get all these big names. I think now they're seeing to last in this league, you have to balance it. You have to find some of those young players to do that. And just like, with a podcast, for us to survive, we need people to listen, to subscribe, to share, to like, give a thumbs up, whatever it is. So if you follow us on social media, give us those thumbs up, follow us, like, share. If you don't follow us yet, look for us everywhere. We're everywhere. Some areas we're more active than others. So Larry is amazing at running our Instagram and putting up great content there. If you're an Instagram person, go there, but you can find us all around and look for us and get information and find out updates about what's going on with our show. Brad, any last things before we wrap things up?
Yeah, for me,
and this isn't random thoughts. This is just any last things about the match. Sorry.
No, I did prepare something. Obviously we had one goal, one shot on target. Sorry, my dog is all up in my face.
Brad's busy making out with the dog.
No, we had one shot on target, one chance, and we buried it, but that's not good enough. The team really needs to focus on, creating chances and really the offensive style that I know the players on our team have the quality to perform. This team is built probably one of the better ways I've seen in quite a while. We're all healthy for the most part and looking forward to hopefully them putting it a little bit better together as we move on in the next couple of weeks.
Definitely. All right, let's wrap things up here. We're going to do random thoughts for this episode. Trialist 1. Every time I look at that, I'm thinking of that new Cat in the Hat movie that's supposed to come out. Because if in the previews they do the whole thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, thing 4. Yeah, if you don't go to movies, you don't know. Me and my wife, we did this whole subscription thing for movies. So now we're seeing a bunch of previews that we would never have seen before. Trialist 1, random thought.
2 quick things. 1, USLPA, and 2, you're going down.
Larry, he's basically saying Tottenham's getting relegated.
My random thought every week.
But
so you know,
Matt, just so you know, we're going to pull Everton and we're going to hang on by the skin of our chinny chin and stay in the Premier League. Larry,
Don't
your
bring
random
my
thought.
Blues into this.
Well, since we seem to want to talk about the Prem, I'm just going to say we are not going down.
And for those that don't know, Larry's that's the team that was down forever because they just couldn't get back up, but they're finally back and they're doing decent. Good job, Larry.
And
Brad,
can you name them? Can you name the team for Larry?
Sunderland.
Oh, there you go.
All
Good
right.
job.
I know. I just didn't want to give props. If Larry doesn't want to say the name, I ain't going to say it. Just like I'm not going to say the C word that Elder wants to support. Brad, go for it.
Yeah, my random thought is NFL free agency has been crazy this year. For those people who follow the sport, absolutely crazy. The most recent update is Max Crosby, who was traded on Friday in like a blockbuster trade. Now Baltimore's backing out of it, and I can't wait to see the fallout from that. And then also Kobe Bryant's 81-point single game. I'm going to call it a record because that Wilt Chamberlain 100 game is super in dispute.
Why is it in dispute?
80,
no one remembers it, Larry.
Yeah, nobody remembers it.
Just because you were there doesn't mean you believe it, Larry. Sorry, Brad. What was the last thing I sort of cut you off?
Anyways, Bam Adebayo with 83 points tonight against the tanking Washington Wizards. Don't tell me tanking isn't dead because Washington Wizards put on a masterclass tonight on how to do it.
So I love it. I got some things from all of you. I got 3 quick things I'm going to say really quick. First of all, like Matt said, USLPA, props to the fans at Championship Soccer Stadium that joined in on the chant. For those that weren't aware, there was the players were doing a silent protest on the field, on the pitch of 1 minute. That's why there was no action for the first minute. So if you were at the match and you didn't know what the heck was going on, that's what that was. Props to Matt and the other supporters for wanting to jump on in the chat, and they did so, and they were loud. I think other fans around the stadium joined in, and I know the players heard it and recognized it because there was a lot of recognition and a lot of look backs to the supporter section with some claps and some thumbs up. So props to that. As far as the NFL, Brad, welcome to the 49ers, Mr. Mike Evans. We're hoping for some great things from you. That'll be awesome. And then NBA, since you went there, I'm going to go there really quick, Brad. The Clippers. For those that have not followed the show, I'm a huge Clippers fan. They are the first ever team to start as bad as they did to get to 500 to even wins and losses at this point of the season. The first team ever to do so with such a horrible start. They pulled an OCSC. They started poorly, and with the backs against the wall, they're starting to win. I'm hoping it leads to some good stuff because we've seen that happen in the past. 2021 for OCSC, a poor run midseason, and then they went on a run. They win the championship. Hey, maybe Clippers get the first championship they're going to get this year. I want to thank everyone for participating in this episode, including Trialist 1, Mr. Matt Elder, Larry, Brad, producer Andy, our guests today, Mr. Tom Brewitt, OCSC defender, and Ryan Sykora, that covers Phoenix and other stuff on backheeled.com. Plus, hey, all of y'all that listened live, participated in the chats, contributed to this show, thank you for doing so. We appreciate it. For everyone involved with the show, I want to thank you all. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. We are out.